Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day before starting the video. Please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. General Hospital spoilers reveal a preview clip has been released for Wednesday, June 11th, 2025. It shows Drew Cain, Cameron Matheson, getting smug and overconfident as usual. Meanwhile, Michael Corinthos, Rory Gibson, plans to take his kids out of the country. Let's begin with the custody battle. The judge is trying to decide what ruling to make. In the meantime, Drew tells Nina Reeves, Cynthia Watros, and Willow Tate Corinthos, Caitlin McMullen, that once the truth came out, it was game over. However, the truth hasn't come out, only the part that Drew wanted exposed. However, Drew isn't the only one that insists they've already won. Over with Michael. He is also convinced that he's going to get full and sole custody of Wiley Corinthos, Viren Weaver, and Amelia Corinthos, Sequoia and Serenity Morco Mack. In a preview clip for today's episode, Michael announces his plans to a stunned Carly, Spencer, Laura Wright, Sonny Corinthos, Maurice Bernard, and Jason Morgan, Steve Burton. Michael plans to take the kids out of the country when he gets custody. However, there is reason to believe that neither Drew or Willow gets full custody. General Hospital spoilers reveal that Kai Taylor, Jen's Austin Astrup, makes a confession to Trina Robinson, Tabyana Ali. Kai will admit that he heard a conversation that he wasn't supposed to. The young couple will strategize. So what will they decide to do about the Curtis Ashford, Donald Turner, and Portia Robinson, Brooke Kerr situation? Over with Jordan Ashford. Tanisha Harper. She tries to get someone to trust her with something. This could be Jen Sidwell, Carlo Rhoda, and the project could be the key to this mission. Port Charles is heating up, and not just because summer is around the corner. Emotions are flaring, alliances are cracking, and secrets are bubbling to the surface. On Tuesday, June 11th, General Hospital delivers a tense and drama-packed episode where Drew's overconfidence could cost him everything, and Michael embarks on a bold, dangerous move that could backfire on his entire family. From political plays to personal betrayals, the stakes are higher than ever. Drew's smug victory tour raises eyebrows. After his recent legal win in Scout's custody case, Drew Cain is walking tall, and with a dangerous level of smug satisfaction. He's riding high, parading his success around Port Charles, and it's starting to wear thin on those closest to him. At Aurora, Drew holds court with his board of directors, reveling in the praise of his political allies. But there's something off in his demeanor, a self-congratulatory attitude that borders on arrogant. He's basking in the public image of the victorious businessman, the model father, and the potential future mayor. But behind the scenes, there's growing concern that his ruthless tactics may eventually come to light. Ned Quartermain, watching from the sidelines, remains unconvinced that Drew's motives are entirely pure. In fact, Ned voices his suspicions to Olivia, questioning whether Drew's push for Scout's full custody was more about power and public image than parental love. Olivia, torn between her loyalty to family and her protective instincts, warns Ned to tread carefully, because Drew isn't playing nice anymore. And he proves it when he crosses paths with Alexis Davis. Their heated exchange in the Metro Court barroom turns icy fast. Alexis calls him out for weaponizing Scout in his bid for control. Drew, clearly stung, counters by reminding her of her past as a disbarred attorney and a recovering alcoholic. The claws come out, and it's clear. Drew is not the same man Port Charles once knew. He's hardened, calculating, and maybe, just maybe, a little dangerous. Michael's risky plan gains momentum. Meanwhile, Michael Corinthos is playing a high-stakes game of his own. Still reeling from Willow's emotional unraveling and the damage Drew's manipulations have caused to his family, Michael decides it's time to take matters into his own hands. Step 1. Exposing Drew. With the help of Dex Heller, Michael digs deeper into Drew's recent campaign donations, property acquisitions, and quiet meetings with certain high-profile donors. What he uncovers could blow Drew's mayoral ambitions to pieces if he dares to go public. But here's the twist. Michael doesn't want to expose Drew to the press or the public, not yet. Instead, he wants leverage. He's crafting a plan to corner Drew into dropping his custody pursuit of Scout in exchange for silence. It's a dangerous gamble that involves deception, manipulation, and a touch of blackmail. And if it fails, Michael could lose everything, including his remaining family ties. At the Quartermain mansion, Brooke Lynn senses Michael's tension and confronts him about his late-night meetings and evasive behavior. Michael is tight-lipped but assures her he's doing what's best for the family. Still, Brooke Lynn worries that he's venturing down a dark path, one that may mirror Sonny's more brutal instincts. Willow's emotional tipping point, Willow Corinthos, continues to spiral emotionally, and it doesn't go unnoticed. In the aftermath of her fiery confrontation with Nina and the mounting strain from Drew's courtroom victories, Willow is on edge. On Tuesday, she has a poignant conversation with Elizabeth at General Hospital. Liz offers a sympathetic ear, and the two women share a quiet moment reflecting on motherhood, loss, and the dangers of resentment. Willow confesses that she feels like she's drowning, caught between loyalty to Michael, guilt over Nina, and the unresolved grief over her time away from her children during her illness. Elizabeth encourages her to find her center again, reminding her that no amount of anger can undo what's already happened. But Willow remains torn. And when she later overhears Michael's cryptic phone call with Dex, it becomes clear she knows something big is brewing, and it terrifies her. Sonny's guarded conversation with Ava in the penthouse. Sonny Corinthos has a tense sit-down with Ava Jerome. The two co-parents and longtime frenemies have found themselves aligned recently in their distrust of Drew and confusion over Jason's reappearance. Ava, ever the truth seeker when it suits her, questions Sonny about his future. Both. As a father and a businessman, Sonny, his walls up, avoids the emotional heart of her questions and instead focuses on protecting his children and his legacy. He doesn't trust Drew. He doesn't trust Michael's recent silence, and he certainly doesn't trust whatever secrets Carly is hiding from him. Ava probes, suggesting that Sonny's anger might be clouding his judgment. "You've survived worse," she tells him, "but I've never seen you this rattled." Sonny brushes it off, but the storm behind his eyes says otherwise. Jason's quiet investigation continues. Jason Morgan remains on the fringes of the main drama, but don't mistake that for inaction. Quietly and methodically, he's putting pieces together. Something about Drew's rise feels too fast, too polished, and too well-funded. And Jason doesn't believe in coincidences. He stops by Carly's to ask questions about campaign finances, about who Drew's meeting with in private, and about what Scout has said in her therapy sessions. Carly, weary and still unsure of where she stands with Jason, admits that even she has her doubts. Their connection remains strained but tender, built on a complicated history and the unspoken trust that still lingers. By the end of the day, Jason makes a silent vow. If Drew is hiding something that puts Scout or the family at risk, he won't let it slide. Not again. Curtis worries about Trina's distance across town. A quieter subplot simmers between Curtis and Trina. Trina has been pulling away ever since the WSB's recent interference and the fallout from her involvement in helping Joss and Emma expose Dalton's rogue tactics. Curtis notices the distance and tries to connect, taking her out to lunch and trying to relive lighter times. But Trina is distracted, clearly preoccupied. When he presses, she finally blurts out that she's not sure she wants to stay in Port Charles. The confession floors Curtis. What's happening to Trina? And where is her story heading? Could she be planning to leave for Paris with her art? Residency? Or is she preparing for a more dangerous move involving WSB secrets? Tuesday's cliffhanger. Michael crosses the line. The episode builds to a nail-biting conclusion as Michael receives a set of confidential documents from Dex, evidence, that ties Drew to a backdoor deal involving a known political fixer with ties to the SEC. With the evidence in hand, Michael texts Drew to meet him on the docks. The confrontation is icy and explosive. Michael lays out the evidence and his demands. Drop your custody suit, walk away from the mayoral race, or I go public. Drew, stunned but far from cowed, coolly tells Michael he's made a mistake. You think you're protecting your family? Drew says, but you've just declared war on it. As both men stand locked in a silent standoff, the camera pans back, and someone is watching from the shadows. Jason? Carly? Or someone entirely unexpected? Don't miss Tuesday, June 11th on General Hospital. From Drew's unraveling facade to Michael's dangerous power play, every character in Port Charles is facing a test, and not everyone will pass. Tuesday's episode is a turning point, setting off a chain reaction that could shake the Corinthos and Quartermain families to their very core. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our GH News 24 YouTube channel for more update news.